and welcome back. Wow, something's in my eye now. She said glasses. Are my glasses straight? Hey y'all, it's me, Gina, and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode of Busy Baking, we're gonna be making some more cookies, some more really good cookies. Quick, fast cookies. We're learning some ways to make quick cookies, and so this is one of the versions of that I want to share with you guys that was really yummy for me. Sometimes I like some cookies that Tom may not like, or I may be cooking and I know like my dad prefers a specific cookie over my mom, and so you gotta make 2 huge batches of cookies. It's a pain in the butt. So we're gonna try something where we make 2 different kinds of cookies with just one dough, and it's gonna be an easy, quick dough. For these cookies, you're gonna need 1 box of yellow cake mix. I'm using Betty Crocker Super Moist Yellow Cake Mix. You're going to need 1/3 cup of oil and 2 eggs. Now, remember, if you didn't see my butter pecan cookie video, we'll link that somewhere. But remember, if you're using the 15.25 ounce box, you need a 1/3 of a cup of oil. If you're using the 18 ounce, you need probably about a 1/2 cup. So just be sure you're paying attention to how much cake mix you're using. So with this, we have the 15.25 ounce of yellow cake mix. We have a 1/3 cup of oil and 2 eggs. And we're just gonna mix that together. Now I've got some little ingredients that we're gonna add in a little later on. So I've got some semi-sweet mini chocolate chips. I've got some white chocolate chips and some CRAISINs. Actually, I've only ever had like CRAISINs and cranberries in juice or in stuff. Like, what do they taste like? Raisins? Like, they taste good in cookies. They're just a little tart. All right, y'all, now that we've got all of our stuff together, oh, you also need preheat your oven to 350 and get your air baked baking sheet and your steel pat liner ready, or however you want to bake the cookies. And now, let's get to baking. The way the news goes.
And that's the way the news goes.
Grass tastes bad.
Grass tastes bad.
All right, so we're just gonna mix our oil together. I forgot we were still filming. So we're gonna mix our oil in with our cake mix. That's me. Oh gosh, Abby. I'm an amateur. I dropped the whole egg in the dough. And now that I'm trying to crack it, it's getting powdered cake mix everywhere. The cleanliness inside of me is dying right now because my counter's dirty. Y'all just don't know. It takes me forever to bake because I clean as I'm going. Well, I mean, we're busy baking, but we're cleaning. Like, if they aren't a clean nuthead like me, then it'll be fast for them. You can clean afterwards. Oh, I just got egg gunk on the counter. Woo! It's just a day. All right, y'all, so we're gonna forget that I got egg gunk staring at me on my counter that's giving me anxiety. And we're gonna just mix all this together. Now, I would just use a wooden spoon or some other kind of spoon. I think this dough is too hard for a whisk. It's not even worth breaking out the hand mixer or the stand mixer for this, so I wouldn't even do all that you have to get out and clean. I would just use a wooden spoon, metal spoon, whatever you want to use. Whatever your little heart desires, you can use. And just stir it up. It's going to be a very, very thick dough. So it's not gonna be cake batter consistency, obviously, because we don't want that for cookies. So it's gonna be a thick dough. What's your favorite cookie? What's your favorite cookie?
I don't know.
Just tell me, what's one of your favorite cookies? The orange cookies? All right, so y'all, with this, what I'm gonna do is just kind of eyeball half the dough and put it in a little bowl. So I got half the dough there, and that's gonna be my mini chocolate chip bowl. And then half the dough still in here, that's gonna be my CRAISIN and white chocolate chips. And I'm not measuring anything. I'm just dumping it in there and then I'm gonna mix it together. I may add more if I want to, but I would like each cookie to be chock full of CRAISINs and mini chocolate chips. I completely forgot this whole time that I'm videoing this that we gotta have some powdered sugar. Where is my head at today? All right, now I'm just gonna take my hands and kind of mix it all together to make sure that we got craisins and white chocolate chips in every cookie. You can add as much as you want, as little as you want. I think that's good for my cookie. All right, y'all, so we also need powdered sugar to roll these in. These are a type of crinkle cookie. If you've never made a crinkle cookie, we've made a couple on this channel, so you can go back and find them. Basically, it's a cookie dough that's wrapped in powdered sugar, cocoa powder, something like that, so that when you bake it, you can see the insides of the cookies like crinkled around big patches of powdered sugar. I like to get, like if I'm making cookies, I will just put my leftover powdered sugar in a Cool Whip container so that I don't have to throw it away and waste it. You can dump it out in a big cookie sheet. I just roll a couple at a time in here. You can actually roll them all and put them all on your cookie sheet, but I do this to just not waste powdered sugar. Oh, I don't want to craisin to get my chocolate chips. Heaven forbid. So now we're just gonna roll them in powdered sugar. Now, if you go ahead and roll them and put them right on the cookie sheet to cook, they're not gonna be as crinkly. If you want them crinkly, you can roll them in powdered sugar, let them sit a few minutes, and then double roll them. That'll make them have more of the crinkle effect. I'm just gonna roll them once. You can roll them twice. Now, the baking time depends on how big you make them. Sometimes I make my cookies really big, and normally if I make them, they're probably about 1/4 of a cup of dough, so it's a lot. They're big cookies, and I cook mine for about 13 or 14 minutes. I'm gonna try to make these maybe a little bit smaller. Not too terribly much smaller, but if you're making them smaller, about a tablespoon, I'd cook them about 8 to 10 minutes. And what I do is roll them in balls, put them on the thing. I don't flatten them down. I put them in the oven, and at about the 6-minute mark, I will go in with a fork and flatten them down. And now, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm just rolling these in powdered sugar, and I'm just gonna transfer them over to my baking sheet. This recipe for me, when I make big cookies, makes about 14, so. All right, when you're baking cookies, the way they make them look so pretty on pictures on Pinterest and on blogs and stuff is once they roll their dough up, they take some of their chocolate chips or stuff and they put them on top. They don't mix it in it. They have some in it, but then they put them on top. When you bake it, it sits on top real pretty. We ain't worried about that here. We just worried about having a good cookie to eat, which is what we're gonna have. All right, now in this other bowl of dough, I'm gonna dump some chocolate chips. So see, this is really good for your picky people. Like if you got kids and one likes chocolate chips and one likes white chocolate chips, or you know, one likes pecans in theirs, you can put pecans in this with the chocolate chips, and one doesn't like pecans. So you can handle your picky kids with just one box of cake mix and have enough cookies for everybody. I'm just gonna spread this around with my fingers a minute. And you can always cook them on the same cookie sheet because you're not gonna cross-contaminate one cookie with another cookie. You can use a cookie scoop. I normally use a cookie scoop for cookie dough, but since this dough is not quite as stiff as some cookie doughs I've seen. And I make orange cookies out of cake mix that requires eggs and Cool Whip, but that is the stickiest bejumblement I've seen. So this is much easier to work with. Like I asked you yours, I didn't even think. My favorite cookie is, I would say that the butter pecan cookies that we made on another video is probably one of my favorite, but my absolute favorite is probably gonna be the brown sugar bourbon ones, and they are a pain to make. They are such good cookies. All right, y'all, we'll finish up this one cookie, pop them in the oven, roll out my other ones, and then I will see y'all back probably in, well, for you, it'll be like a half a second, but really it'll be probably like 15 minutes for me to cook them and let them cool. But we'll be back in just a minute, y'all. All right, y'all, ta-da! Here are our two kinds of cookies, our chocolate chip and our CRAISIN white chocolate chip cookies. They look yummy. Chocolate chips and white chocolate chip and CRAISINs. I've already been taking a bite out of one of them. It was really good. All right, y'all. I continue this cookie debate. What's the best kind of cookie? I want to know what your favorite kind is. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. And if you ever make these, let me know. I'd like to see you guys baking some of this stuff. And be sure to hit that subscribe button because y'all know y'all want to. We put out videos every Tuesday, and we will see y'all next time. Stay sweet, y'all. Alexa. Alexa, play Roll Out again.
Roll Up, My Business by Ludacris on Amazon Music.
Try a cookie. Come here, bite this cookie.